his itemization is very far behind. If LGD goes for an early dragon right here, they will have the advantage. They're going to gank. Doesn't actually take that, and they're not going to be able to get an advantage out of it. Instead, Acorn will just back and start wave clearing at the turret, and you can see right now PYL just doing what he can. Zone double lift off the wave, and he is very, very far behind when it comes to CS.
But he did get the 2 kills.
Yes, the 2 kills are
countering it.
It is.
Ish. It's not quite that much difference, so that's a 40 CS differential right now.
The problem is that gold has been used on an Avarice play. That's 800 gold, so coming in, I mean, those 2 kills are kind of null and void. He is not going to be ready to fight for a very long time.
And you can see LGD very aware of this as they start to push in on the Dragon. They know that there's no way the enemy team can contest them. They have power and objective control of Kalista, and additionally Victor ready to rotate down and fight at any moment. So good call from LGD to get aggressive on this and to force it out.
The Orianna, that's the advantage for TSM, and it's a nice one, but early on in the game, okay, Orianna used her gold on an Athenes for mana regen and, you know, not much in the way of combat stats, honestly, compared to the Victor who's been upgrading his Hex Core. So the advantage will play out eventually, but it's
not going to get caught out, not going to get stunned up. Will continue to slow them down and speed himself. So at the moment he's running them a merry dance and putting a lot of damage down towards Pain Evil. He has to back out of the fight. In comes Kasing. Kasing's going to help him out, but is that just going to feed them 2 kills? It looks like it may well do. He's going to continue running. Kasing tries to peel off to the side. It doesn't look like it's going to happen, and they will both get caught out. Kasing gets chomped down, but Bjergsen may just get out alive.
There's got no mana.
Blue buff, please, come on, keep ticking, that's all he's got to do. He's continuing to put the damage down, and Bjergsen echoes Peke's great escape before, but they double lift all the free time in the world to keep free farming and pushing that tower.
That was an absolutely terrible play by TSM that actually managed to work out their advantage, but here we go.
Oh, you're not getting out of this one. Where are you going to repel to? Tries to flash away, but the Ignite is ticking, and a quick little poke from TBQ finishes it off. It buys them a turret, but it costs them 2 deaths.
I would praise them for Bjergsen taking so much time for double lift to get there,
absolutely.
But Kasing coming in on the backside, the shield was almost entirely unutilized on the Stand United, so really just a waste of resources, and giving up that kill there. Bought a lot of time, gave a few kills. Yes, the tower is huge, but once again, sloppy decision-making is not what we want to see in this game.
Yeah, but that said, TSM, they are 2 towers up now as a result, and Doublelift has been able to successfully split push, so net advantage to TSM. They managed to turn it into something, but this game is looking sloppy, and Acorn had a good TP, but couldn't actually finish off the kill on the Bjergsen. They had a nice collapse. The idea was good. The execution wasn't really working in favor.
I think as we push forward, it'll be easier for them to pull that off as Acorn gets a few more items under his belt. But once again, we talked about mobility as an issue. Normally when we see a Victor and an Olaf, at least historically, paired with something like a Sivir, giving you that mobility for these 2 regularly quite immobile carry, so not having that, instead going with the Kalista, means their engaged tools, as you mentioned, as we mentioned time and time again, is just they're really not there for them.
Especially because Olaf is running Flash instead of Ghost, which means that Olaf is going to be very dependent on teleport, like more so, because he can't just pop Ghost and charge in from the front line. Not going to be very effective, so he's got to find another way to get in there, and it's going to come down to Acorn. I've seen Acorn have very good TPs, but recently, in recent memory, those TPs at Worlds were not
questionable. That's for sure. Hauntzer, though, been doing a great job as the top lane, honestly. Has got himself first blood against both Flame and Acorn. But Acorn just teetering around the edge this time. Spencer going once again a little out of position. It's PYL that's trying to put a pressure on him, but Bjergsen is there. Pain Evil collapses, and this is a little collapse. Where's he going to go? He's got Kasing just around the side, but Svenskeren in trouble. He's getting locked up. There's no way he's getting out. And that was a very easy collapse for LGD to pick themselves up the jungler.
And a good, quick, confident pick means they'll probably be able to grab the top lane tower as well. And TSM doesn't really have any pressure elsewhere on the map. A TP in the mid lane, though.
Oh, they're going to try and answer it. Pain Evil caught out. He's going to get locked up. A double lift will pick up the kill. They can push straight through this mid lane turret. This could be a bit of a trade going on here. Top lane is going to get taken down. Looks like LGD will finish that one off, but they have to respect this push that TSM have managed to react to. Good little teleport there.
And I don't think they're going to get that top turret, actually. The minion's going to die, so they don't even get it in the end, but maybe they can try and stave off the damage. But if they don't get that top, they recall, and this goes down, is a really bad call from LGD, and that's what it's going to be.
Yeah, Acorn has stuck around at the top there, so he should get it now. But yeah, that's a middle tier 2 turret for the top lane. That was a great trade from TSM.
And I think this is Godby just not understanding his role within the team, overextending overextending a little bit. That's not something you can afford to do.
This game.
Exactly, and he is their only reliable source of wave clear. So if he goes down, turrets are sure to drop as well. So he cannot afford to get caught out.
His pathing has been really suspect. That's the second time he's put himself in a very dangerous position on the map and been punished for it. Now, TSM's been doing a good job of collapsing and making those plays work, but not really heads-up map awareness here from Pain Evil.
Not at all. And what's the bigger issue here is this gold lead continues to grow, is coming into the next team fight. That's really going to show if TSM can get the setup necessary. Now, they don't have too much vision, or they do have a decent amount of vision. LGD don't have the vision really around Dragon necessary to contest or fight this one out. So TSM should be able to take this Dragon as well with some confidence.
One thing that needs pointing out is Doublelift has now got 3 kills. He's caught up a bit in the CS. Still a 30 CS differential, but Tristana getting stronger and stronger in the late game will be a big deal. And in terms of gold between the two, Doublelift is ahead, and he's what? Close to 1,000, yeah, 800 gold ahead.
800 gold ahead, and that was the lane that LGD could have snowballed off of once they put him down the early game. But Double has picked up the kills. He has been split pushing very well, and he's been taking the solo gold from the turrets on the split push. So it's been really advantageous, and he's managed to turn it around, but he has to jump over.
Yeah, a little bit of respect required there. Dragon spawning. Doublelift did take a chunk of damage, but if he had a lifesteal that back, I tell a lie, he's only really got a small item to lifesteal, so I doubt if he's going to pull it back too quick, but TSM going to try and set up this one. Haunts long way off Meganar though, trying to set himself up, gets stunned out and locked up and takes a big chunk of damage. TSM, they just have to back away from this, and they've got TBQ locked in the pit, but I think it's Haunter that's been locked out more than anything. Another poke from Pain Evil, and now finally turns into Meganar, but it's too late. TSM not involved in that engage.
And this is the problem that we talked about with engage. LGD had the priority. TSM, without the Meganar, the Narbar wasn't up. Hanser wasn't going to be able to try and get a flash engage on there.
This is risky.
Yeah, you really want to be on that Dragon first, or on that objective first, and LGD, they could take it with very little threat.
Are they really trying to set up for a gank here? No, they're trying to push them and just escape through the mid lane. Okay, they're just going to try and draw them away. They have ward coverage in the middle. They have a wave coverage here. So LGD kind of a little out of position themselves now. Oh, Shockwave pulls in, but it's only PYL. They catch on. That Grey Matter will keep him alive, but now that was a big hit. They're going to try to chase on this Swiss one. Double and Haunter very low, but doesn't look like the Chaos Storm's going to catch on towards them, and Imp not quite close enough. And it does look like everybody will escape. But overall, LGD got the Dragon.
LGD can't engage either. There's no way you're going to get through the chunks with the level of zone control that TSM had. Sure, they tried to go in once the Shockwave went down, but look at the disengage. You have the Buster Shot coming through. You have so many tools just to move out and kite if you're TSM. So over-aggressive there. They just need to push them off the mid wave and Doublelift.
No, he's good. He's good. I mean, this is what I was talking about the lifesteal. He's basically only got a Doran's Blade. That's it. So, I'm pretty sure he's going to stack that up next.
Probably. Hopefully should be able to finish the static ship here.
Yeah.
He does pick up that Zeal. Cleared out early on the bottom side. Hanser's kind of moved over to this sort of split pushing role, using that range and the safety he has from that hop to kind of let himself back off. On the opposite side, Acorn, we saw him flash forward incredibly aggressively for that fight, and then it just immediately had to back off. And that's going to be a huge issue as he pushes forward in this lane, because he has the Ragnarok to keep him safe, but he has really no kill pressure on Hanser at this stage of the game.
Again, we just see a total lack of wards here. He's going to go onto Hanser.
Oh, and Hanser has to flash away and counter it, realizes, hang on a minute, I can turn this in my favor. Ragnarok down, Hanser in a straight one-on-one, takes down Acorn.
No flash, huge mistake to get aggressive there, have to say, but the rest of the team posturing to get picked on.
PYL caught, locked up, that's going to be a quick cocoon on towards him. He manages to flash out alive, but Doublelift will pick up another, and there's a Shockwave landing. Imp is getting decimated, Doublelift will get himself another and leaps out alive, and TSM is starting to turn on the pressure. Pain Evil gets locked up, Kasing will not quite finish him off, but TSM get themselves a couple of kills for free.
And that was a great use of the one-on-one kill. Kasing just going to delay the recall here, chucking a sword out, but using that solo kill to try and turn around on the opposite side of the map. Hanser didn't end up having to use his TP right there, chose not to get involved in that fight, but they make the plays, and they've extended their gold lead now to about 5,000 here at 23 minutes, so substantial advantage for TSM.
And look at the difference in the CS between these top laners, 141 to 180, a massive lead for Hanser. Finds the solo kill on Acorn, a much more experienced player, and just amazing play. But looking at this team fight here, you can see how aggressive they get. They find the pick, and the big thing to watch for is as they push forward, getting caught out by the shockwave. They walk right into that zone where TSM have absolute control, and they get ripped apart. Doublelift, some flashy bounce house plays, the signature aggressive AD carry moments as he finds a way out of that fight, and there's just no damage left. His Pain Evil is running out of mana, has to burn through too many cooldowns, and overall just very well executed by TSM.
TSM actually doing a great job getting wards up in that top side. That was one of the keys to look at for them in this second game. And now they have that during control, looking much more tight in their play around that objective in this game number 2.
And Doublelift is close to a 2,000 gold differential now between him and him. And that is huge. The getting ahead of Kalista, so that's a real big problem 24 minutes into this game. But LGD do pick up that mid turret. So finally taking away some of that free vision that TSM have garnered themselves, but maybe a little challenge, a bit of Baron control here, a bit of vision in that river. Still a long time on Dragon, so it looks to be just a simple bit of posturing from both teams. Who is the stronger? Who's going to get the vision down? Remember, the warding from TSM in the previous game was far from perfect. And again, quite a lack of it right now.
The other issue is with the warding, not really being there for the team as they push forward, is that they may not have the same insane late game scaling that they had in the previous game, but they still have a Tristana who's going to outscale the Kalista, and the Orianna who serves a very similar role to Victor, who will outscale the push forward, just much more flexibility from the champion and what she can do, and it's going to be very difficult once again for LGD as they push further and further forward.
Well, they have the Olaf, though, and against the CC-heavy TSM composition, that's going to be key, because if Acorn gets into the backline, he is going to absolutely wreck TSM. So it's a lot on Acorn, and he's really far behind at the current time.
Yeah, and that's what I'm thinking, because he's going to be trying to get to Doublelift, but Doublelift didn't have the damage to deal with him already.
He's also just building magic resist, and Hanser is putting out a lot of just physical damage with the Black Cleaver, and Doublelift obviously has found his way back into this game, so he's got to get some armor if he wants to survive.
And despite having double magic damage threats, I really don't understand this decision as pushing forward, because Bjergsen is itemizing incredibly defensively, is moving towards that more supportive position. There's no Void Staff there, there's no Death Cap. He's posturing just to protect Doublelift, to find those engages with the Shockwave, and not looking for much else.
And you have to be able to counter the split push of the Gnar, so I really don't get this build that's coming in here from Acorn. I don't think it's going to be particularly useful for him in the mid and late game.
And Doublelift now full item ahead. Full item, Last Whisper in his hand. Imp is gonna have to really position himself well, but you know what? Kalista can do that. That's what the champion's all about. Dragon gonna be spawning, so that is gonna be the next objective. Now at the moment, Hanser's gonna get caught out down the side here. Pain Evil and Acorn trying to gang up on him, and that may just have gifted the Dragon across to LGD. TSM, this is going to be a risky engage if they go for it. He's got teleport available, Hanser, so if he's going to back away, which he's doing, he could TP in time. And they, well, LGD taking the time to start this Dragon off. Are we going to see some aggression? No, Bjergsen's backing away. That's going to be LGD's Dragon.
LGD just doing a much better job of setting up for this objective overall. Once again, finding small advantages. This time around, didn't zone out with the Victor Gravity Field, found some damage onto Hanser, turned that into the Dragon, and this kind of control, pushing into 3 Dragons at this stage of the game, is really good for them. It will help them balance out their sort of lack of late game scaling if they can hit that 5th Dragon.
Yeah, and we're looking at, what, about 38 minutes for that Dragon number 5, if they get Dragon number 4. So this is a good position for LGD to be in, despite the fact that they're behind. But again, it comes down to rewards. Good coverage in that river, and we did see Hanser pushing up and trying to walk into river when he was totally blind, not knowing where everybody was on the map, taking that chunk. It was Mega Gnar, so even if he had gone back and healed up, he wasn't going to have Mega Gnar for the next fight, and they must have that for these. They are absolutely reliant on that Gnar ultimate to engage.
Pressure from TSM trying to push it down the mid lane, but remember, they've already taken that tier 2 turret, so it's the inhib they're going to be pushing on. I'm not sure they've quite got enough to draw them away, but they're going to get a couple of free shots on there, and you can see how much damage Doublelift can do. That's the half the turret gone down. LGD a little slow to react to this one. PYL taken very low there, but TSM now finally forced to back away, but that was way more damage than I was expecting to get put on that turret.
And interesting that Pain Evil decided to laser the champions instead of the creep wave there. Could have cleared that out much faster. I don't, maybe hoping to find a fight on the back of that damage, but either way, lost a lot of tower health because he just refused to clear out the wave. Doublelift got at least 5 extra autos.
This is just going to be quick clearance, and LGD, see how they decide to play about this again. They do have a lot of knowledge about what's going on that topside river, so they'll know that this Baron really isn't an option right now for TSM. See how Acorn can do in this split push against the Gnar, that going to be much more effective in that particular one-on-one situation.
And pushing forward, TSM clearly identifying that the only source of wave control is Pain Evil. You can see the this itemization coming out from Shen. He's going to be able to give the magic immunity over to that creep. It's been done on the bottom side of the map, and no one's going to be able to approach that later in the game if that has a Baron buff. No one can clear that out.
Yep.
So at the moment, TSM, they have the gold advantage. It is only a 5,000 gold advantage, and it really doesn't feel like much of an advantage right now. LGD certainly able to keep up with them in team fights, which you've yet to see a big team fight. Nobody fighting over one of those big objectives just yet. Very much Alabama positioning. Bjergsen out of position. Caught up. He should go down in. Is it going to be enough to keep him alive? That shield just hanging on, but Acorn comes piling. Sonya's hourglass is only going to buy him a little bit of time, and now Doublelift caught up. He tries to rocket jump away, tries to turn that damage around, but quickly he's in trouble. He's going to get locked up. That is another kill. That's a 3-for-1, and LGD, well, they can take what they want.
And Acorn, that was the key. He had to get into the position to get the teleport off to get into the backline. Sure, he was exhausted, but he managed to find the angle onto Bjergsen. Now Svenskeren and Hans are going to try and stop this Baron, and will they be successful? It's like LGD's not going to take the risk of actually going for the Baron right away. TBQ does have his ultimate up, though, if he wanted to come back in. I think LGD should press harder for this Baron.
I think once again the confidence from both of these teams has been very hit or miss over the course of this series, not taking more opportunities, just letting small advantages go, not getting anything else out of it. But as we come into this team fight, you can see just how huge this is. Bjergsen pulls back into his team, pulls back, tries to find the front line, but the TP on the side here, the aggressive flash from Acorn gets such a huge advantage. You can see PYL is going to move forward here, tries to save the day, doesn't quite find it, but the Fate's Call lets him re-engage anyway, and LGD using their team comp to the fullest potential.
And look at the position. Bjergsen's just strolling past the walls, not a ward in sight. Had no idea what was around that corner. Completely out of position.
Yeah, and LGD is being given a lifeline by TSM at several points during this game simply by face-checking areas without any kind of vision. And LGD has capitalized on that. They've been quick to teleport in. They've been quick to set up and make the plays. And they're going to be staring in 2 minutes at Dragon number 4. Here's the Abyssal Voyage.
Oh, is he going to catch on? Bjergsen, remember, no flash available for him, and he has to use the Sonya so early on. Chaos Storm raining down on towards him. He uses just about everything to keep himself alive, but this has bought LGD all the time they need. The mid laner down. Svenskeren forced to back away. This should be Baron.
Well, they've still got 4 members up, so we'll see if they will be so bold. It looks like the answer is yes.
They can't smite the Callista, so if Imp has enough time to set up here, there's no way they can do this unless Imp completely fumbles out.
Remember, Sven managed to get a steal in the previous matchup. Doublelift still alive. They're trying to get the peel on towards him. Haunter's got himself into Mega Gnar. He pounces in towards him, slams him away, but is it enough? The damage, TBQ taking a lot of damage off the side there. Doublelift trying to get the damage down towards him. He gets onto PYL. He gets onto TYQ. I can't believe what's happening. Doublelift is going to get himself a sector. Don't think he's quite got enough. Imp should catch on towards him, and Pain Evil's laser does enough. But that, I think TSM will still be happy. It stopped the Baron. They got them. That was a hatful of kills for Doublelift.
And right when I criticize LGD for their lack of confidence, they make a bold move, and it completely pays off despite a beautiful Gnar ult coming in from Hanser on the backside of that fight. LGD just ripped through the team and putting out consistent damage and just allowed to destroy everyone.
Yeah, take a look at Hanser coming in right here, because you see all the spears coming in, and then you see Imp get knocked into the Baron here. So he starts to actually, after the stun, he actually did have a chance to keep those spears up, and they made the decision to turn on that fight all the same. But Imp managing to clean up despite not having the biggest amount of damage in this game, and using the Spiderlings just to continue to jump forward. And fortunately for him too, a minion wave right here, so he can continue to get his dashes off and be more of a nuisance. Nice death ray at the end. Pick up the kill.
A good use of the Siphon Tower and that Callista Martial Void Pass to continue moving forward, but Baron being postured around as they push forward. TSM looked determined to take the Dragon in this exchange.
TBQ started the Baron off. Dragon's been picked up by TSM. That's going to get them the first one, but can they react? Can they get here in time? Because this Baron is going out quickly. Acorn's going to be the man that distracts them. Sven's rushing towards it. He knows he needs to get in quickly. Is it going to be enough? I don't think it is. Will go to LGD. TSM out of position there, and now they have to back away. They have to respect the damage that LGD have. Haunts are caught out. He's got no Gnar available to him, and that's going to be a shockwave. Is it now? PYL taking damage. Double once again around the side, so Scarrett will catch on, but that was a great catch from Pain Evil. kill, and that will turn the fight on its head. It's a 2-for-2 still, though, and TSM are not done yet.
They're going to back up right now, but TSM did not get that dragon. Crucially, they turned off the dragon in order to move up to the Baron, so they have to defend it right now. They cannot go back.
Oh, that's risky. Doublelift running straight in towards it. Look at the damage back on towards him. Is it enough? Doublelift. Oh, KACKE used his ult, but he didn't go aggressive. He just jumped straight into the stun. He got the kill on him, though, and that's all he needed.
Planning there from TSM. So you saw what happened with KACKE, just backing off and then using the Stand United to get the shield so Doublelift could chunk them out. They had to make sure that that dragon was not taken. They got another Baron buff off the members of LGD right now. KACKE going to come in, and it looks like they are going to actually prevent LGD from getting dragon number 4. Still a few Baron buffs up on LGD, but overall TSM played that last little positional war very well.
Definitely confidence inspiring on the side of TSM to see them make good moves in this game. I mean, the vision control still is an issue, but when they have vision and they have knowledge of the enemy team, they're playing incredibly proficiently, and Doublelift, huge show of confidence there to get aggressive, but taking out it means absolutely everything as they move forward in this game. Shutting them down early on is very important.
Yeah, and look at this, the back off right there, the 2 shields onto Doublelift so he can get that poke damage. Pain Evil not having a lot, and Imp actually just getting the explosive shot on him and picking up that very crucial kill.
And the input buffer on the Tristana jump to make sure he would make it out of the gravity field before there could be any potential turnaround here.
So, 16-15, another chaotic game between LGD and TSM. But TSM are 1-0 up in this best of 3, and more importantly for them, Doublelift has 10 kills and now a QSS, which means he's going to be perhaps a little bit more bolder in his attacks if he could get that way. He's been very aggressive so far, yeah. Crazy stuff from him. But LGD definitely been taking it to them. You know, they've been playing from behind in gold this whole match, yet they still have been the ones on the aggression.
Yeah, and I mean, really the whole series, Doublelift.
Chaos Storm very early on Doublelift there. Thought he could maybe chunk him down quicker, but Doublelift just quite happily life-stealing him away. And that's a big ulti to be down now for LGD. I think TSM is just going to push on towards its inhibitor.
Hanser actually did use his Gnar ult right there. It was flashed by TBQ, so they couldn't secure that kill. And now they're down their main initiation tool. So they're trying to get the siege rolling here, but Evil does have a blue buff and a Baron buff, so it's going to be really difficult to see. Holy cow.
Gravity well used very early on there. Remember, we already saw the damage that Doublelift can put onto this tower, and look at that. It's like a minigun as he just mows it down. Now opening hip, and this is very tricky now, LGD, but they played the entire last matchup in the same situation, so they're well aware of what they've got to do. Doublelift though on TBQ, that's going to force him back. Imp's going to try and go aggressive on this one. Gets caught out, big chunk there. That's going to be KACKE using the ultimate. They got quite caught out. They try to dive in. TBQ caught out, but what can they do from this one? Imp's going to get locked up. Could he get eaten away? PYL devours him and pulls him out of danger. And LGD just about hanging on. That's a great Sonya's output from Bjergsen, and it will just keep him alive. The inhib will finally go down, and TSM survive in a 1-for-0 fight.
All right, get that inhibitor once again. We saw this last game. The question now is, can they close? Because that was what they were having trouble with. And that all started out with Pain Evil just getting chunked out in that front line instead of clearing the minion waves. And without him there, it was all too easy for Doublelift just to push forward and try and take that turret. And you cannot hurt that thing, Pain Evil.
I think the big issue as we looked at that fight is that Pain Evil is still playing incredibly aggressively on this LGD lineup, playing like he's that Cassin. He does not have the Zhonya's, he does not have the safety of the Rift Walk, but he continues to play on the front lines in each and every one of those engages. And sometimes it's worked out for the team. They found some excellent fights, but for the most part, it's really been holding them back. Yeah, it's been a little bit risky, but he took cleanse for a reason here because he wanted to get up in that front line. So it's a decision he's had to make. With that summoner spell. Now, take a look as vision starts to be reclaimed by LGD around this turret, or Baron rather.
Well, Doublelift continuing his farm. Now has finally caught up with him in terms of CS, very much even, but in terms of gold, it's quite disparaging between the two. You can see 14.8k, 17k, but they're both well into their build by now. So not really a differential. QSS picked up, more importantly, by Imp. He was caught out, remember, in that previous fight, which is what took him down. But PYL did manage to pull him to safety, just about. We haven't seen that the crazy wombo combo that can be out. I don't think we probably will anymore. But this top turret, not looking like it's going to survive too long. A couple more shots from Doublelift will be enough. And LGD needs to be careful here. They don't get caught out, and that's maybe what Acorn's going to happen. Has got Ragnarok available if he needs it, but he's taking way too much damage in the process. Hello, Pain Evil just going straight in on that one. Flashing in, they might catch up on Svenskeren, but oh, PYL just about consuming in time there. Acorn just trying to keep Haunter at bay, but look how low everybody was. Svenskeren does manage to keep alive, but another objective goes TSM way. That's the turret, and they may well just stick around here. It's risky because LGD can quickly back to the bounce to come back full hit points. TSM very low here. They've got to be careful they don't get caught out like they were in the previous matchup. And now Double F just caught just the rocket jump away. Now they have to respect it. They're going, TVQ going in. He gets caught out. He's taken down. PYL dropped as well. Acorn has got a lot of damage though, and he can just mash his way through the entire TSM. Are they going to get enough in there? I'm not too sure. Bjorksen will get taken down. Acorn could kill the entire team here. Svenskeren so low, Kasink so low, but look at Haunter. He's tanking. He's keeping him at bay, and Acorn is in trouble now. He gets slowed down, and he's going to get dropped. And TSM will get the ace, and they can push on and maybe take victory.
They're going to try to end out here, an overextending moment there for Pain Evil once again, but TSM quick to punish, confident to end here in this game too. It's finally accurate when I say they end this one confidently, and an amazing, impressive 2-0 from this new lineup.
They come out with their first matches, hugs all around, and get a big win over LGD here at IEM San Jose. It was a little bit sloppy from both sides, but it is also a very promising start to a new roster.
I think looking at these guys overall, I'm impressed how they played around Haunter, how well Haunter played in those games. 5-2-4 to end that one out. Absolutely dominating a couple of those fights. His positioning in the last few engages, focusing more on zoning out. I wasn't a big fan of that, but overall, for a new lineup to function this well in team fights and in shot calling is very impressive.
All right, LGD and more questions from this team that looked so good in the LPL and has now failed to deliver on 2 consecutive international stages. Looking out of sorts, looking discombobulated. Pain Evil just flashing in on Victor in that last fight to try and engage. And they did not have engage with this composition. That is part of the flaw with the draft that both of these teams decided to go for this time. And then instead of being patient, LGD really overcompensated and tried to make something out of nothing.
And we were talking about it right at the start, the lack of ghosts for Acorn. If Acorn would have had ghosts in that last fight, he could have picked up 3, maybe 4. Who knows? But he just couldn't catch him down. They kited him around. Very well played. But TSM overall, I may well nearly bust the blood vessel trying to cast these last 2 matches, but it's great to be back. And, well, it was a little bit chaotic, no doubt about that one. 11 kills for Double F. What did we expect when he joined TSM?
I mean, Double F individually had a very good game. He had a tough time in the early laning phase, but he played the map in a way where he was able to recoup an advantage off of the towers and picking up kills. And we could see he had a very calculated level of aggression in those team fights. He used rocket jump very well to pick up kills and to prevent, crucially, the best play from him was making sure that LGD didn't get drag number 4. Very important.
Yeah, and I think distinctly not letting them have that option way to close out the game, giving them that clear win sign, because LGD, amazing vision control, great posturing, great reactive play, 1 or 2 proactive moments, but overall, I mean, huge missteps left and right. Great shining moments, but totally just peppered with these massive mistakes.
Yeah, a lot to work on for sure, but again, they've been there for a week. I wouldn't read too much into this. It's a great start for them, but still a long way to go, I think, for both of these teams.
Well, let's hear from the man of the moment, ladies and gentlemen. Double F is on stage.
Double F, congratulations. First of all, I see that you found your glasses. We're all very happy about that. What happened? Did you just misplace them?
Yeah, we were shuttling over here, and I was so excited for the game, I forgot them in the bus. So it took 2 hours, but we got them.
I'm very glad that you found them. Well, now that you've played your first match with TSM, I've got to ask you, what are the biggest differences between playing with CLG and TSM?
Oh, wow. Well, for one, we're the crowd favorites. That's pretty nice.
That's for sure.
And it's just a fresh start, you know, all the kind of baggage that you have from knowing people for years and years. Everyone on this team comes from a different place, a different team, a different time in their lives, and we all just said this is a fresh start, this is a new team, we're gonna do things our way. So I'm really glad that we get to do things the TSM way.
Well, Reginald is backstage, and I talked with him for a little bit, and he told me that you guys have only had about half of a week to start together with this very new roster. How do you think you guys were able to be so successful in your first match?
Oh yeah, we did have only 4 days to practice for this tournament. But I think we're really smart and motivated, and we worked super hard in those 4 days. And at first, like when people interviewed me, I was like, oh yeah, new TSM, we're gonna have 2 carries. But it turns out we have 3 carries because Hanser.
A lot of fans here, Double F. Well, your first game, you had some struggles. That's to be expected for your first game with this new team. What kind of changes did you make to the second game?
Well, first game, I think all of us played really bad, and we made a lot of mistakes, especially me. Like, that was the Jinx comp for sure, where like Anivia and Tomcans were trying to protect Jinx, and I made like 10 mistakes that game, and I was like, just really thinking like, what can I do to improve on the next game? And I think all of us were playing more clean, like just trying to fight less, take objectives more. So I think we just got our very first like tournament game out of the way, and then those jitters are gone for the second game.
All right, Double F, congratulations. I feel like we need a TSM chant here, don't we? Cool TSM. We'll see you in the next round. SPÜHRBAR, back to you.
Thank you very much, Christina. Of course, congratulations, Double F. And I like it. The biggest difference between playing on CLG and playing on TSM is that they now have the crowd favorites, whereas it was a little tough to get that going on CLG. But let's talk about that game too. You know, as Double F mentioned it himself, everybody seemed to clean up a bit after game 1. It was definitely a better game, a slower but more calculated game from TSM.
I'm gonna have to disagree with that.
Okay.
I think that they lost so much CS in the bot lane, and they took the turret so early that if LGD had played the map better, the game should have been over. They should have focused on Dragon Lane, getting the Dragon earlier, getting that rolling, rotate the top lane, take the top. They could have done anything. They could have gone anywhere on the map. And instead, what they did is they just went right back to the bot lane, and they didn't do anything with that. And then they just chased Orianna around the jungle for like 2 minutes. So like, what are you doing?
They did do it as a highlight worthy.
Yeah, LGD definitely facilitated TSM getting back into the game due to the matchups, the way they played out early. But I like what TSM was doing. Obviously, only 4 days of prep, so they seem to have this play where Svensson goes, helps Hanser, he gets ahead, and then we played out the rest of the map. So the matchup was absolutely brutal.